Hi everyone, Lee again here. I'm just in my local woods at the moment, just chilling, sitting by a nice tree here that's fell down unfortunately, but I want to keep going into the simulation hypothesis because I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos like simulation theory type videos, so I thought I'd carry on from the last video, which was about how there's multiple realities and we're controlling the realities. Now, I want to go a little bit more into how this is working in this reality, because we can literally create our own reality. That's part of the game, but you can't really do this until you've gone up the levels a little bit, like I was saying in the last video. But when you eventually get into the higher levels and more's revealed to you, you start to see exactly how you can manipulate things and make them into your own reality, because you see the universal laws, you see how energy fluctuates and energy works and transfers, you see. So what I mean by this, think about this, okay? All the neurons in your brain are firing up constantly based on those neurons that you've created. So say you're younger and you have a negative thought about something, that creates a new neuron that fires up, and that negative thought is then possible after that stage where you created it, you see? So that negative thought is now possible, so your neuron can fire up easily now, and you can think of lots of different things as negative, you see? So we've literally created that reality, because when we were at school, they've taught us what is negative and what's positive, you see, and our parents have taught us what's negative, what's positive, when in reality, I don't necessarily think anything is negative or positive, okay? Everything is geared up in a way that we have to do things for survival, and if whatever's linked to survival is classed as positive, then that would explain why we call it negative and positive, you see. So I think these neurons are firing up constantly, and we can literally create our own reality by imagining something and believing it and having a vision of it. And when we do that, it then becomes possible to create in this physical level that we're on, this manifestation. So when it becomes possible, I think you can literally create that, but to create it, you have to use one thing, which is called the law of action, okay? So you actually physically do it, you have to think it, believe it, and physically do it. This is why language is so important, because language comes out of our mouth. It's literally, language brings things into existence, you see. We communicate with language, which is a voice vibration, which is physical, and that links to another physical being. We get ideas, we share ideas via voice, and this is what creates everything around us, because a lot of these things around us we can create by ourselves, but if that was the case, it wouldn't work. That's why there's multiple versions of ourselves from all different angles, looking at this from different viewpoints, different levels of awareness, different backgrounds, different upbringings, all these different types of people in the world. So I think the simulation's working on that kind of sense. But here's the thing, all the people in the world are very different for a reason, okay? So a lot of you guys will think, sometimes think the world's going crazy, we need to put a stop to this, okay? But what we don't realize normally is when we're trying to put a stop to something, okay, it doesn't matter anyway, you see, because everything's equally balanced anyway. Because the way this simulation is set up is for survival. And the reason why we keep surviving all the time, okay, as the human species has not become extinct yet, you see. Why is that? Because we're constantly thinking all the time, and we're creating that reality, but we've also got more positive than negative, okay? This is what I've noticed about the simulation, because it's designed for evolution, so it's always going to give positive the upper hand. Okay, but in reality, here's the paradox, because there is no positive and negative. So the positive itself is just the survival, okay? And the reason the survival is here is so the simulation can keep going, because if there was no survival, there would be no simulation to enter. So if we're like coming from another reality possibly, or where our oversoul, whatever, which can experience all realities, chooses to come here on Earth, Earth has to exist, and the only way it can exist, and the only way it can have physical form like us to come into and experience, is via that. Okay, it's via the where was I? Sorry. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but yeah, I just had all these thoughts. It was a little download I got, so I thought I'd just share that with you. I've actually forgotten what I was talking about now, so I'm going to just leave it at that. I hope you guys got something from that, but if not, I'm sorry, but yeah, you get the general idea. See you guys in the next video.